Good morning. It's My, ready to explore the Bible. Today we are in Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5. And today we're going to talk about a sermon that Jesus preached while he was here on earth. He preached a lot of sermons, but this one is probably one of his most known. It's called the Beatitudes. They are attitudes that we should have. The Beatitudes. You can think about it as the Beatitude, okay? Beatitudes. They should be in our life, all right? So Matthew chapter 5, and I want you to read with me because we're just going to go through a couple each day for the next little while and find out what God really wants us to be like, okay? So Matthew chapter 5, it says, "In seeing the multitudes," remember all the groups of people that would come and listen to him, "he went up into the mountains, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him, and he opened his mouth and taught them." So this is something he was teaching his disciples. So these are pretty important things then, I would think, if he's teaching them directly to his disciples. So he says, in verse 3, it says, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." He doesn't want us to be proud and boastful and always thinking that we are the best. No, he wants us to be looking for him and being poor in spirit. Verse 4, it says, "Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted." Have you ever been sad? Have you ever been really feeling bad? He says, "Blessed are you that mourn, for they shall be comforted." And God gives us comfort. He comes along and loves on us and shows us that we're loved. Verse 5, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." Now this word meek, M-E-E-K, meek, means strength that is controlled. Jesus was a very meek person. But he was the strongest person. But he controlled his power. He controlled his strength. Remember how he came to the temple and there were money changers in the temple? People that were selling things. And he walked in and he overthrew the tables. And he got out a whip and he really had strength. And that was the right time to use that strength. Meekness is knowing when it's the right time to use our strength and our anger and our emotions that are so huge inside of us, and when is the wrong time. And Jesus also was very meek. We'll find later on at the end of his life when he went before Pilate, he didn't say a word. He just stood there. That's meekness. That is knowing when it's proper to have all the strength showing and when it's not. It is power under control. You might want to remember that. Meekness is power under control. Just saying. You might say that again. Meekness, M-E-E-K, meek, being meek. He says, "For the meek shall inherit the earth." Wow. You would think that people that are really quiet and not out there wouldn't inherit anything, wouldn't, get a name for themselves. But he says they're going to inherit the earth. Let's see what else he says. Verse 6, he says, "Blessed are they which hunger and thirst after righteousness." Now, that's not really talking about physical hunger and thirst. Oh, I'm so thirsty, I have to go get a drink. No. This is hungering and thirsting after God's righteousness, wanting to be more like him and trying to be more like him every day, finding ways to be more like him and finding ways to be more righteous. It says, "For they shall be filled." Isn't it nice after you've eaten how it feels so good you're full? I know, Melody, you're never full. I understand. But there's going to come a day when you'll understand that. But he says that we should hunger and thirst after his righteousness so that we can be filled. And then verse 7, I think we're going to end on this one today. It says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." Now, what does that mean, to be merciful? Mercy is when you know you've done something wrong. that your parents have said, you should never do that. And your dad tells you, okay, if you do that, we're going to punish you, you're going to take away this, or you're going to stand in the corner, or whatever. Mercy is when he says, okay, you did that wrong, and today I'm going to show you mercy. I'm not going to punish you. Wow, really? Not going to be punished? He's trying another way of teaching you a lesson, but it's withholding punishment that we deserve. God does this for us all the time. He withholds the punishment when we are all sinners, but in order to get to heaven, he didn't make us pay for our sins. Jesus paid for them. That was the ultimate mercy. And it says, blessed are the merciful. When we show mercy to other people, when your brother or sister comes and they've done something wrong to you, instead of lashing out at them, show them mercy and tell them, I'm going to show you mercy this time. I'm not going to be upset about it. And hopefully that will change how they're doing things. It says, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. If you want mercy, you have to show it to others. And that's what God's saying here. Well, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you remember what meekness means. Love ya. Bye-bye.